Hi, I'm Bill Hansberry and I'm a specialist teacher of kids with dyslexia. So if you're listening to this, there's every chance you've got a child or a couple of children maybe who are involved in an intensive, cumulative structured multisensory program with a skilled teacher. I want to talk about these cards because there's every chance I hope they're using these flashcards. Now, these flashcards are simply the centerpiece of the program. They are go. And I want to explain why they're so important. So, dyslexia is a difficulty that people have, and it's a difficulty around matching the sounds that they hear in the speech stream to the letters or groups of letters that spell those sounds. And this causes lots of awful, tricky problems for them when they learn to read and they learn to spell. What we're trying to do is create in kids speedy, reliable recall of the links between letters and sounds. We also call these phonograms. So we get the kids to overlearn the links between these letters and the sounds. And they do it literally thousands of times. Because for these kids, just getting it isn't enough. For rapid and automatic recall, we need to get them to a point we call overlearning. Now, the overlearning part is where it gets really painful for parents and kids at home. We get it. Having to do these cards on top of homework that school has probably set is just a massive pain in the backside, right? Having to do this extra work just isn't fair. But it's all we've got. So we've just got to get on with the job of going through these cards with our kids nightly, going through the concepts and going through the phonogram cards to tighten up those letter sound links and help them to start to integrate their some grammatical understandings and some spelling rules in. So at the end of the day, their letter sound recall is automatic and quick, and their writing and their spelling and their reading is a bit easier for them. So we get it. Flashcard drills are militaristic, they're rote learning, they're frankly unsexy. You might have even had one of your kids' teachers challenge you on the whole idea of the rote nature of these cards. Well, it's true. Rote learning got awfully out of vogue in the 70s and 80s because we, in a teaching profession and in education, we learned the understanding of needing to know a concept around something. And when you know the broader picture or the concept, it's easier to remember the little bits. But you know what? When it comes to the arbitrary link between a symbol and the sound it makes, like P making P, or U making in some words, U in some words, and even in some words, there's just nothing we can do on a conceptual level around that. It's just drill and repetition and mastery. So rote learning kind of went out of fashion the same way that phonics went out of fashion, but that was based more on edu trend and ideology than it was on real evidence. So I digress anyway. What are the consequences for kids if they and their parents are slack on doing the card drills at home? Well, let me explain what we do with your kids when we lock them up in a room with us and get to work. So we put these letter sound links to work. We do drills. So we do the same speed drills with the phonogram and the concept cards that you do at home, and we time your kids. And you know what? If they haven't been doing their cards at home, we always know because the time always gives them away. We also get kids doing tutor sheets where they practice spelling rules, they practice certain phonograms. We get them doing taped exercises, and we get them doing dictations where they have to put those phonograms, blend those letters together into syllables, into words and into sentences. And we also get them to practice their concepts like the spelling rules and the grammatical concepts that I talked about earlier. So what we're helping the kids to do is to start to pull together all these tricky threads so they can read and spell more automatically and more fluently. And this takes years. When kids and parents don't do these cards, when they don't practice these cards at home, kids rock up to us and they simply don't recall the links with ease. And when they go to do the work of putting into action these letter sound links and these concepts and these spelling rules, they struggle. And do you know what? It's utterly demoralizing for them. It is literally life-sapping. And it starts to chisel away at their motivation to do the extra stuff that we need them to do. So that's why doing these cards at least 5 nights a week, even when the kids are on holidays, is go, because it is going to shorten the time that they need to spend with us at an hour a week at a minimum in an intensive multisensory course. Even though they might learn to love us, they do not want to be with us when they're 25. So I hope that's done the job in explaining why these are so important. Thanks for listening.